And welcome back to about 20 minutes before the top of the hour. And The Hill is out with an op-ed urging Congress to use its power to prevent President-elect Donald Trump from taking office. The Ivy Leaguers argue in The Hill the 14th Amendment bars anyone who engaged in an insurrection or rebellion from holding public office. The article even referring to the, quote, overwhelming evidence that Trump took part in an insurrection. For more, let's welcome in New York Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis. Good morning, Congresswoman. I mean, we saw it. They tried it in multiple states, the 14th Amendment, and now here they go again. Why can't they just accept Trump won? Let's get to work.
Well, exactly. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to get to work on day one. We're not going to allow these types of distractions. And the reality is, this is what the American people overwhelmingly voted for. They want to see border security. They want to see energy costs come down. They want to see inflation come down. They want to see the tax cuts that created millions of jobs and helped middle-class families lift wages and lowered unemployment among minorities to continue. That's what we intend to do. And I think that there may be a small group of people who are disgruntled. They don't want to see the president return to the White House. But the American people have spoken, and they spoke quite clearly. And so we're going to get to work, and we look forward in this nightmare that we've been living under President Biden that has really brought so much destruction to the cost of living, to our national security, to public safety in our cities, is finally going to come to an end. And I think not only are Americans happy, but many of our allies abroad are relieved, because we saw peace through strength under President Trump, and they want to see that restored. Sadly, we saw 2 new wars created under President Biden, and it's because of terrible foreign policy and this strategy of appeasing our adversaries, which is really something that has hurt America on the world stage. But we're about to restore our prominence on the world stage once again with the peace through strength policies and the strength overall of President Donald Trump.
You know, it's interesting because every election Democrats have lost going back to the 2000 election, they have objected to the certification of the win, and they question anyone who dare even ask a question about 2020, call them an election denier. I wonder how many Democrats, even though there was an overwhelming majority in the House of the Electoral College, an overwhelming majority in the popular vote, will object to the certification of Donald Trump.
Yeah, look, it'll be interesting to see. It's never a dull moment. But I think at the end of the day, a lot of this is just theatrics. And people know that Donald Trump is obviously the clear winner. As you mentioned, he won every single swing state. Even in cities like mine, he overperformed 15% more than he did in 2020. So this was very much a mandate across the board. I mean, the fact that he won every single swing state says something very, very loud and clear. And it's that people were just unhappy with what they saw, the woke left that went way too far. And they tried to destroy American values. They tried to destroy our national security. They tried to destroy American prosperity and capitalism. All of those things needed a correction. And that is exactly what we saw in this election. They went way too far. Also, think about it, what they tried to do. They tried to criminally prosecute, or they did criminally prosecute the former president. They did everything they could to try to destroy him financially, personally, professionally, and they failed. The American people saw it for what it was, and they rejected that type of prosecution and persecution that you see in communist countries. It should never happen here in the United States, and it was overwhelmingly rejected, and rightfully so.
You know, we've only got about 15 seconds. I do want to get this in here. Earlier in the hour, one of your colleagues, Andy Harris, chair of the Freedom Caucus, basically did not say that there wouldn't be a battle for the Speaker of the House with Mike Johnson, which could put the certification at risk. Do you see that being a possibility?
Look, I think we need to resolve our differences. I think the speaker should be reaching out to the membership, answering their concerns and questions. I have concerns and questions, too, about how what happened last week and that it can't happen again. We should be working out our differences within our conference, not going to the Democrats to secure their votes before building consensus within our own party. What I would say is the speaker should be reaching out to the members. I have not heard from them just yet, but we all have ideas on how we can improve cooperation, improve communication, and come out of this more united. If we're going to pass and be successful in pushing through President Trump's agenda, we need to be united, and or else we're going to have the same problem 100 days from now. So let's work out our differences. Let's hear everybody's concerns, answer those questions on how we're going to do things differently next year, so what happened last week does not happen again.
There you go. Congressman Nicole Malliotakis, thanks for joining us, and have a happy new year if we don't talk to you before then.
Thank you. Happy New Year.